Hey everybody, it's your girl Bunny. To all of my returning subscribers, hey, how you doing? And for those of you who are new to the channel, welcome. Kick your feet up, subscribe to this family-friendly channel, and don't forget to click the notification bell so you don't miss any posts. Also follow me on Instagram at the same profile name so you don't miss the sneak peeks of what's coming up next. In this video, it's Queen Sugar, Season 7, Episode 10, entitled, They Existed. I give a full episode recap with photos offset to the side, and then I give my review at the end. No need to dig around and keep all of the minute marks in the comments. It's all coming up next. Nova is saddened while she speaks to Dominic on the phone. His business trip was scheduled for only a few weeks. Now it's been months. He questions if she still feels the same way about him, and Nova still feels the same way, but his feelings have changed. There's a knock at the door, and it's Dominic. He clarifies, "My feelings for you have changed, and they are stronger than ever." A wonderful surprise, and they kiss with joy. A wonderful morning of lovemaking, and he doesn't want to be away from her like that ever again. He wants to hear about everything he missed. There are long stories, Nova warns, but they have time to talk about them later. They need to get ready for Prosper's wedding. Prosper is very nervous, reading his vows in the mirror. Billie assures that everything is okay and the nerves will settle. He received a gift from Charlie. It's a nice watch with a note sharing good wishes for his special day. Prosper loves it. Billie says that she has a wonderful gift for her dad. It's not an expensive watch, but it will arrive later. Prosper knows that whatever it is, it's special. Her being there is a greater gift within itself. Ralph reviews his words for a toast as the best man and then helps Darla to get ready. They flirt and remember their own special wedding day. He's excited for Prosper, but he's distracted. He still can't believe that he lost his farm, but the Landrys got a pass. Darla wants him to clear his mind and just enjoy the day. Ralph says that their wedding was the top 5 days of his life, and Darla wants to guess the top 5. Blue's birth, True's birth, their wedding day, and the other day he got out. What's the 5th? Ralph says it hasn't happened yet. The best is yet to come. The moment has come, and Billie gives last-minute words of encouragement to her dad. You got this. Prosper takes his place, and whispers of good words come from the audience and Ralph Angel. He's so happy, and loved ones are around him to support, and he knows that this is where he's supposed to be. I'm so blessed, he says. And now, here comes the bride. Sandy walks down the aisle, and Billie helps her take her place. Prosper and Sandy can't help but to smile at one another and giggle at both of them being nervous. They recite their own vows. Sandy knew from the first moment she came to his house, things would never be the same. He always made her smile and cry at the same time. Prosper knows that he's learned more from her compared to a span of experiences. She filled every crack and missing piece in his heart. He can't wait to spend the rest of his life with her. The rings, please. They vow to take one another as their lawfully wedded wife and husband and kiss to mend the love. They also take a moment to jump the broom and announce, for those of you who think we are too young to jump the broom, watch and learn. They then carefully step over the broom, and the audience loves the joke and the message. A beautiful reception proceeds, and Ralph Angel makes a toast. He is proud that Mr. Prosper has been a second father to them, not only to him, but his other siblings. They would all agree that their lives would have been a great loss without him. He has had tremendous impact on their lives. He doesn't know what Sandy did to him, but it's had him sprung the moment that they met. All he would do was talk about Sandy. He's excited to welcome her to the family. Cheers to Prosper and Sandy. Now Hollywood turns up their energy for the newlyweds' first dance. After a song of looking into one another's eyes, now it's time to party. There are so many laughs and everyone cuts a rug. Billie and Nova have a quick girl chat in the restroom. They notice how Stacy's friends are starting to look a little jealous. She found love and Prosper is a good catch. Nova thinks it's not only rare to find true love, but love when one is mature enough to have the time. Nova guesses that Chicago must have been a great trip. Billie says yes, and when it comes to Vince, who knows what might happen in the future. She doesn't feel afraid anymore to just be. She was so twisted about love and life, and now she just wants to live. Nova feels that they are both healing, and she's happy Billie came back to St. Joe. Nova wants to have a fun moment with Ralph Angel, and they reminisce on old school dance moves. The trash talk between brother and sister is unmatched. They laugh, and Nova has something special she wants to give to him. Darla checked in with her about how she felt about the movie now, and Ralph confirms that she talked to him about it more as well. Nova wants to know how he feels about it. He knows it was a difficult experience for everyone, and the idea at first was messy. Now the movie and the book may help a lot of people. Nova then goes into her purse and gives him a check. It's the advance. He can use it however he needs to get the land back. Ralph hugs his sister so tight, telling her over and over again that he loves her. They're interrupted by Parthena. Ralph Angel, you smell that? Yeah, it smells like cane burning. It's the wrong time of year for that. There's a fire in the distance. Cane is burning on the Landrys' land. The fellas find out that the fire was controlled. It's the wrong time of the year for cane to burn, and that's surely not an accident. Why would they start a fire on their own land? Why create more damage on the Landrys' property? It must be some sort of strategy, right? Darla lets everyone know that the Landrys are getting out and selling mill parts. Also, there are construction markers across their land. Nova learned from Mo that they tried this same tactic upstate with another co-op, intimidation and sabotage. Billie knows that Vince has handled cases just like this in the past. She'll give him a call to see if he can come down for a visit. Also, there must be something in those files Randolph copied. Everyone is fired up to get rolling and finding out more information, but Vi changes the mood. She encourages the fellas to get cleaned up, everyone get refreshed, and come back to the party. This is too much of a glorious day to think about the Landrys. Sandy is the most beautiful bride she's ever seen, and everyone must cut into their tastiest cake that she's ever baked. Everyone agrees, and it's back to the celebration. Micah takes the microphone and cheers the crowd. He wants a big round of applause for the bride and the groom. Now it's time for the unveiling of Vi's wonderful creation. She knows they haven't seen anything like this from her. Let's get ready for the Denton Delight wedding cake. Vi brings out the cake and everyone is in awe. The Dentons cut the cake and even smash a little in their faces for fun. After the wedding, Micah shows Kiki the photos. His main goal was to show the love in such a great day. St. Joe showed up and showed out. Micah can't hold back any longer what he wants to know. Kiki, why did you break up with me? I never got a clear answer. She says it was several things. They were young and slowly starting to grow apart. They developed different paths, and it wasn't always easy being Micah West's girlfriend. In St. Joe, everyone knew her, but elsewhere it felt like, why is he with her? She's so country. She felt that the jealousy and judgment came from everywhere, and it sucked. Micah thinks that it's wild that people would say that because the moment he met her, he felt that she was out of his league. He's disappointed that she didn't share how she felt, but he understands. He thinks that she's beautiful, and she thanks him for the expressions. She learned that St. Joe is a special place that she can take with her and not be ashamed of where she comes from. She wanted to make her own way. She felt that it would be overshadowed by only being Micah West's girlfriend. She felt that she had to break away from that, but she could have handled it another way, and she apologizes, and Micah receives the apology. Billie informs that if they can confirm the fire was intentional, they can take the Landrys to court. This isn't the first time that this tactic has been done in rural communities. Vince adds that if they've done this before, the goal is to identify the patterns of intimidation, preferential treatment, corruption. It builds the case. Ralph wants to speak with Sam face to face. He can tell if he's lying or not by that deceptive smirk that he always has on his face. But Vince and Billie don't think that's a good idea. They have bad blood with one another, and Sam doesn't need anything to say to him in which can be twisted. You'd make it easy for Sam to say you're trying to intimidate or coerce him. Darla thinks that she should go. Sam won't expect anything coming from her. Darla takes that visit to Sam. She's learned of this controlled fire on his land, and of course Sam denies the event, and he doesn't handle the daily responsibilities of the land. Darla calls the bluff. She heard that he has been forced to greatly reduce his staff and assets. Sam snaps back. Well, you heard wrong. Darla says that he seems defensive all of a sudden. Are you okay? Now Sam stands up, claiming that they have a lot of lightning strikes lately, and maybe it's due to climate change. Why does she care anyway? Darla defends the land. The fire was close to the land that's important to me, and our normal protocols were followed accordingly. Sam smears on the evil. Oh, your little farmer's club. Although Darla isn't fazed, showing a calming smile. I almost feel sorry for you. You're hiding so many secrets, and it's gonna poison you from the inside out. Now Sam gets in Darla's face. How dare you try to talk to me? But Darla is more powerful in her words, saying, I'm talking to you as a matter of fact, and I am directly talking to you. Sam takes a seat. You know, it doesn't matter. Whatever you thought you were doing by coming here or getting, we finalize our outlet mall by tomorrow, and then you can take your clan and make their lives miserable for all I care. Darla wants him to know that people underestimate us. And when everything comes crashing down for you, and we both know that's happening sooner than later, you'll have brought your misery on yourself. Have a good day. Vi is so done with the Landrys. She's still adamant that Betty wouldn't have anything to do with what they're doing. Hollywood can't assure that this address in Seattle that they found is the correct one. But his bags are in the car, and he's ready to roll with her. Billie laughs at Vince. They have to focus, and he's constantly flirting. Throughout it all, he thanks her for being a part of his life. He even offered to help her study for the LSAT. When she helped him, their lives changed forever. They had a beautiful son with her smarts. The memories rekindle, feelings start to roll again, and they passionately kiss. Nova's happy to share her next assignment with Dominic. She's writing about the loves of her life. So much has happened since he's been away, and she doesn't know where to begin. When he was gone, she saw her first love, and from high school. She was afraid to meet her because she didn't know where it would lead. She's still working on all of the details, but promises that he will be the first to read it. In her past relationships, she would always feel or love people with one foot out of the door. People she wouldn't let wholly in, always giving in to temptations. Her past relationships were embarrassing, but it's different with Dominic. Nova then gets a call from Charlie. When she walks away, he's tempted to read what Nova has so far. As he reads, he seems upset. Darla calls with insight. Maybe they're approaching the research incorrectly. They knew about the black farmer applications being denied, and the Landrys mentioned lightning fires, which led to her review of disaster relief claims. Berthina filed for one too, and it never came in. When it came to the white farmers, their claims were processed quickly. They need to review the files. It's by race of the landholders, and it's organized by claim causes. Billie sees that all white landholders were approved, and the black farm holders were rejected. They match exactly. It's concrete evidence of discrimination. Gladly now, Darla and Ralph Angel are at the USDA's office. They believe they can get Miller talking. Ralph gives a check to Miller. It's for their loan amount, paid in full. Miller says this is a U.S. government office, not a pawn shop. He can't spend money that's been unlawfully gained. Ralph thinks it's interesting how accepting money from the Landrys concerning their unpaid loans is lawful. Miller tries to defend his wrongdoings by saying the Landrys are pillars in their community. They are always an upstanding family. They're not lazy thugs looking for a handout. And he's there to maintain the natural order. Ralph says that he's not offended by what Miller is saying. The truth is, Miller is a thug and is at risk of losing his job. Darla tries to wrap up the meeting. If he can just accept the check, they can all go their own separate ways. But Miller says until they can prove their source of income, there's nothing that he can do to make him turn it in. Darla then throws in a bribe. There must be some way we can process our payment. Miller now seems more laid back. Look, greasing the skids is just part of the business. It's been that way and it's been done for years. He can't guarantee them anything, but it wouldn't hurt. Darla continues, so cash then? And Miller says yes. Darla lets him know, thank you. We'll be right back. When Ralph and Darla get to the car, they play back the recording of it all. She shakes her head. They get so used to getting away with everything for years that they forget to keep their eyes open and their mouths closed. Finally, proof. Dominic is pissed. He was in Sudan checking the weather app every hour to see if she was doing okay, and she was spending time with her ex-cop boyfriend, who she coined the love of her life. He guesses she calls everyone that, huh? Nova is shocked on his violation of trust. Did he even read it to the end? Look, I called him the love of my life before I even knew what love was, and I didn't realize how many what-ifs clouded my mind. I needed to make room for Dominic, for you. And I had to let him go. Now there's nothing holding me back. Dominic is still heartbroken. During our relationship, you've always had to rid of options and question the genuineness that you have for me. She's been struggling to love him. Nova pleads for him to believe her. She's right there. Billie apologizes to Vince for hurting him. For so long, she felt lost and not really clear about how she felt about herself. He understands. He always felt that as long as she loved him, he was cool. He had his home, wife, children, and whatever was going on with her, that there has to be some good reason. He just wanted her to be okay. Billie realizes that her thoughts and experiences held her back for so long from what she really wanted to do. She's not doing that anymore. She looks into Vince's eyes and says, thank you for always loving me and the way that I should have loved myself. Vince, will you marry me? He laughs and blushes. Hell yeah. Yes. Breaking the mood with embarrassment, Prosper and Sandy walk in. All they can do is laugh. They love the honeymoon suite, but there's nothing like home. Billie and Vince apologize, and they thought that they would be away longer. Prosper doesn't see any need to apologize. All right, kiddos, we're home now. Now all Prosper and Sandy can do is love the wonderful words of husband and wife and enjoy their newlywed bliss. Ralph, Angel, and Darla speak with council member Miss Barrera. It's amazing how quickly she made sure to send the audio to the Senate Agricultural Committee. Now Ralph is nervous about speaking in front of large crowds. Darla knows he has doubts. He said he wasn't good in math or in school, but he can calculate crop profits and debt percentages without a calculator. And I've seen you rally old school farmers stuck in their ways, guiding them to the co-op. He can do this. Look at True. She's walking before she could crawl. They've got to get this on camera. I told you she was smart. Vi said that you did the same thing at her age. Remember that. Hollywood is jumpy because people in this type of neighborhood keep the cops on speed dial. What do you want to do, Vi? Vi wants to ease into it. This is her stakeout. She sees a silhouette in the curtains and knows that that's her friend Betty. She then takes the courage to walk up to the door and knocks. And that is the end of the episode. And now it is time for your favorite part of the video. That's right, my review. So for those of you who are wondering, okay, the last and final episode of the Queen Sugar series will be episode 13. Okay, so we still have 3 more episodes to go. Because I'm like, wow, traditionally a lot of series end with episode 10 or 11. And I'm thinking, okay, how are they gonna wrap all of this up? Because there's been so many changes with this final season, and what the plans were originally, we don't don't know, right? We don't know what was in that original script and bringing it to a close. But since we're down, right, -1, an actress who played Charlie Bordelon, who's one of the main characters, you kind of have to rethink, okay, how can we take that out and still make things flow, right? Because I was really worried, how are they going to do this? And I was like, they're adding in storylines I don't care about. I don't care about Prosper. I don't care about Billy. I don't care about none of that. Why are we focusing on that? And it's due to those changes. And I had to say, oh, okay, they're making the best of what they can. And we have some good writers. So it's like, I'm pretty sure that they can throw everything together, which makes sense. And they're doing that. And this final season, we have the storyline with Billie and Vince, Prosper and Sandy, right? Micah coming to this evolution of who he is as a photographer, learning the ins and out of the deceptive ways of money, right? Money being a baseline for this entire season, the ripple effects of the blessings and blood of Nova's book. Like all of this stuff is kind of like wrapping up and giving us some type of closure. But the number one plot of it all and focus is the land, okay? Hence Queen Sugar, right? And we need to get to the underlining thing that has been reoccurring from season to season to season. How can the Bordelon family and several others and the farmers that are involved with the co-op get what's due to them and what's fair, something that they own? Now, what they're tying in is the swindling of land and taking away land and the racism and the discrimination, right? And we're having the favoritism that's going on, which is not something that's legal, okay? Having applications, not turning them in, showing favoritism to a certain group of people. They're getting all of this groundbreaking physical evidence that they can use in court. Because it's one thing to say, well, I heard or I saw, I turned it in or I didn't turn it in, or you didn't. Oh, we've done it for years. We don't know. We need concrete evidence. So to be able to have the idea that they're going to take this to the court of law, beautiful. Okay. Now there were a lot of things legally in the previous episodes that didn't make sense. And I talked about that situation between Billy and Chase. I was like, I don't know how that's legally, but anywho, in this episode, we'll finally be able to see some type of closure. Now, I do think that no matter what happens in episode 13, you will have people that are upset, and you can't please everybody. Now, if it's good writing and they do it right, they will not please everybody. It will be a few things here and there that some people are like, hey, why'd you end it like that? And why didn't you answer this? And no, it's not fair. It's very difficult when the series is coming to a close and things have been changed. So we kind of gotta give them the thumbs up on trying to wrap everything up. Now, I will say that I wanted the show to end a season ago. I honestly don't feel like this series should have went 7 seasons. It could have been wrapped up in 5, to be honest, because series have a problem of sometimes bringing extra characters and extra storylines, and there's a danger to that. Because you can have a very popular show. Every week you're pulling in the millions of views, but sometimes production companies can get greedy and thinking, oh, we'll be renewed. Oh, they're going to give us another season. Oh, this is going to be great. And things change, right? Actors can say, I don't want to be a part of this. Your ratings could go down, right? A good example is Greenleaf. If you haven't seen my video about why Greenleaf came to a close, make sure that you go to the Greenleaf playlist, the last season, and check out the video about why Greenleaf ended. Check that out. It's very interesting. And I show a lot of receipts of what happened with that. But anywho, back to Queen Sugar. I'm really excited to see how they wrap this up legally. I'm really excited to see what are they going to do with this land, because I'm just so sick of this being a redundant storyline. Not to sound mean, but it's been 7 years. When you put it like that, that's a long time. Okay? Let me know what you think. I was happy to see the Prosper wedding. I was happy to see the storyline with Billie and Vince, but it's not what I really wanted. I wanted more time with Ralph, Angel, and Darla. I wanted more time with Vi and actually going deeper with Hollywood. I wish that would have been poured on more, because as I've said several times before, Hollywood placed a lot of things in his life to the side for Vi. And it didn't have a downer on their relationship because he sacrificed a lot. He was finally starting to evolve into himself at the real spot, but then the pandemic happened within the series. The fostering idea, he put that to the side because of Vi and what was going on with her life. And he's finally getting a taste of being a foster parent. And she's finally realizing that, hey, maybe this isn't a bad idea. But we're in the last episode. The last season, we only have 3 episodes left. So I would have liked if they would have taken out the stuff about Vince and Billie and placed in more relationship plots and monologues with Hollywood and Vi, because he sacrificed life to get her a lot, to get her restaurant, for her going through all of the stuff with Jimmy Dale, and he sacrificed a lot. And now she's finally compromising with the fostering thing. And it's like really frustrating because I'm like, poor Hollywood. He's done so much. And I really would have liked to see what was going to go on legally with Ralph Angel, because we still have the Landry situation with the warehouse, which will probably be in one of the episodes when they go to court. Okay. We still have the city council situation with Nova, right? And her classes being banned from the school. It's so much. I'm guessing they'll tie all of that in. But there's so many storylines just for me saying that you're like, pick some. Pick like 5 and stick to that so we can bring this to a close. Let me know what you think. Subscribe, like this video, show it to friends and family. Let everybody know this is a family-friendly page, and anything that you view on here is great. So you can have it on and not be worried about your kids around or family around and somebody being like, oh, what are you listening to? You can have it on at work. It's all good. In the meantime, in between time, remember to follow me on Instagram at the same profile name. DM me with cool stuff. Talk to me whenever you want to. Make sure that you leave your opinions down in the comment. This is a good vibes only page, and I always believe in a good friendly debate. So leave your comments and your thoughts about the show and what you think. In the meantime, in between time, remember to check out Atlanta, the final season of Atlanta, the full episode recaps and reviews of that. If you haven't seen the final season or the seasons before that, make sure that you binge watch, check out the playlist, and also The Handmaid's Tale, an Emmy award-winning Hulu original series. We just ended that season. If you need to binge watch the previous season on that, make sure that you do that. Check out the playlist, you guys. There's so much to watch. And with The Handmaid's Tale, the final season of that is coming, which will be season 6. Leave your comments down below. Like this video, share. Donate to the channel if you want to. And I will see you next time for episode 11. Bye.